Hello everyone and welcome back to another Jam Sports BL Sports segment. We're your hosts, Max Danielsen.
And I'm Jared Hedges.
Jared, it's 2018 and even so, you're back on the show, man. Welcome back.
I'm really glad that I'm back. Glad that we're both in the same broadcasting class and looking forward to not only bringing the best pro sports segments and also bringing high-quality Bishop Lynch sports.
Yeah, like Jared said, we are very excited to be bringing back the latest and greatest in both professional and high school sports. It did take a little bit longer than expected, but we will be back on full schedule like we were in the first semester. But Jared, I think we got to tell them about something if they haven't already watched. Our 2017 Jam Sports Pro Sports Year in Review, which is on our YouTube channel, which is at Jam Sports Live. Make sure to also subscribe while you're there to receive more content that we'll post later on. But it's about an hour long, so you don't want to miss it. Make sure to watch our YouTube channel.
Also filled with things to look forward to in 2018.
Oh, that's true.
You got the biggest thing that we all know of is the Olympics, the Winter Olympics and the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. So why not get started with the basketball teams? In the 2016-2017 season, the men's basketball team made a historic worst-to-first comeback. From the 2016 season, they were worst in their division, and then they came back to winning the district championship. It was such a great season to watch, and they even so finished 33-8. But unfortunately, they lost in the state championship by the score of 45-42, a very close game against Prestonwood. But Jared, this season they have been on fire, going 26-5 as of January 16.
Well, and the biggest thing, like with seeing with the men's basketball team, like you said, they finished in worst this past year.
And the year before that.
The year before that, my bad. But, seeing that, okay, now the guys know, here, this is what it's like to be in the state championship game. Now that you know, okay, this is what it's like this is what the momentum is. This is like the pace. We're in the biggest game.
And I believe they also went on a 20-game win streak last year as well. So they look like great state contenders. But as well, another great state contender is our women's basketball team, as last season they finished with a 33-4 record, and they actually won the state championship against Parish Episcopal by the score of 68-50, and this year they are currently 17-7.
And now transitioning into soccer. The men's soccer team finished the 2017 season 11-8-1, and they lost to Houston St. Thomas 1-0.
Now, Jared, so far this season, they have been on a hot streak of going 10-2 as of January 16th. What does that mean, especially to almost tie last season's record of 11-8 and one tie, sorry.
So you look at it. They played 20 games in a season, and they already played 12, and they're 10-2. Not only does that means that the men's soccer team is either number one in their division or they're number two. They're one of the highest ranking seeds. If the season were to end today, they'd probably have a home playoff game.
And speaking of one of the highest ranked teams, I'm glad you mentioned that, we go into the women's soccer team, who last season finished the year 18-6, and they lost sadly to Houston St. Agnes 1-0 in, I believe, the first round. Now this season they have been with a record of 13-4-2. Jared, of course, you are a manager for the soccer team. Would you like to give somewhat of an analysis on how the team's played this season?
Well, the team, they've been playing really good. Now, especially now, is the biggest part of the year because this coming week they're going to have Ursuline and Nolan that are going to be here. And now that they're a full, healthy team, they got Jada Thomas back, she's committed to West Virginia, okay, whatever. And you led by a strong senior class. You have 11 players for a starting lineup for soccer. Almost all of them are seniors, and they're all really good.
And going on to the swim team, in the 2017-2018 season, the men and lady Aqua Friars have competed in many meets, including the one here, the Bishop Lynch Invitational, and they also competed against many other teams, such as Bryan Adams, Mesquite, John Paul II, Ursuline, and Jesuit. And their TAP state meet will be on February 7th, 2018.
And moving on to baseball. Last season, they finished with a record of 14-22-1, and they lost to Antonian Prep 14-0 and 10-0. And they hired a new baseball coach. His name is Justin McFadden. Now, how is Justin McFadden?
He's a pretty good coach, especially with the small ball game. He's a lot about the defensive side of play as well as with the hitting side, especially with bunting. So it's going to be very interesting how the season goes. And their first scrimmage will be against Frisco Legacy Christian. here at Bishop Lynch on January 26th.
And transitioning to softball, last season the Lady Friars finished with a record of 18, 12, and 1, and they lost in the regional final to San Antonio Incarnate Word 8-3. And 2018 looks to be a good one, which will start in February.
Yeah, especially every single year the softball team looks to try to make a run into the state championship. They have always the team. It's just that one little hump they can't get over. But I think this year could be the year. And now going over to the track and field teams. In the 2017 season, they competed in the Winter Warm-Ups Relay, the BL Invitational, the WT White Invitational, the Cardinal Relays, and the 18th Annual Cistercian Relays, and the TAPS District and State Tournaments. They had a very good season, and they are definitely looking forward to have a great 2018 season.
And transitioning to powerlifting. The 2017 season, the powerlifting teams competed in many meets, including the Sunnyvale, Wiley High School, Emory, Cedar Hill, Keller, and the state championship. 2018 season started on January 13th at Sunnyvale, and their season will continue on January 27th at Emory Rains.
And for the tennis team, in the 2017 season, they competed against a variety of teams during the season and also played well in the 2017 TAPS State Meet. And again, like most teams, they are looking forward to start up their season very soon. And going on for the wrestling team, in the 2017 season, they had one to remember with their first prep state dual title, finishing second at the state championships and having 4 Friars crowned as state champions. And for the 2018 season right now, the Friars are right now halfway through their season and look to make a successful run at another state championship.
And now on to transitioning to the crew team. The 2017 season, they competed in the Head of Oklahoma, the Ozarks, the Colorado, the Brazos, and the Hooch tournaments. And transitioning to golf now. The 2017 season, both men and Lady Friars competed in a variety of tournaments and invitationals throughout the year, and even advancing to the state championship.
And in the 2018 season, they will begin their season on February 9th at the Rockwell ISD Spring Preview.
And now transitioning into cross country. For the 2017 season, the cross country teams competed in the Jesuit Invitational, the James Smith Invitational, the Gerald Ritchie Invitational, the Stallion Stampede, and the TAPS District and State Championship.
I think it's safe to say they also had a very successful season. And now we go on to the volleyball team. In the 2017 season, this past season, they finished with a 36-5 record, and they sadly, though, lost in the state semifinal 3-2 against Antonian Prep. And what a game that was to watch. It was also very interesting how they did the bracket. They had the number 1 and the number 2 teams go against each other in order to advance to the state championship. A little bit weird, but still, it was a great game and a very good season for the Lady Friars. Now, going on to the football team. For the 2017 season, they have the most remarkable season in Bishop Lynch school history, going 10-0 for the first time in school history. I mean, it was an amazing season to watch, especially to broadcast some of the games. However, they sadly lost in the semifinal to St. Pius X, 34-15. That was also a very good game to watch. And of course, it just seemed like the Friar defense was not on their A game.
They were playing. Now the quarterback for St. Pius is
number 3rd in the nation.
He's the 3rd ranked quarterback in the nation, which is in the entire United States. And most of the teams, whenever we would broadcast the games, most of the teams that they play are run the ball teams. Mm-hmm. This is a team that primarily, if my memory serves me correctly, that passes the ball more than they run the ball. And it's kind of hard to, I would think, to make game plans when you're used to running the ball, when you're used to playing teams that run the ball instead of passing all the time.
It's definitely a different transition, especially going over with it. Talent-wise, it was 2 defense powerhouses and 2 offense powerhouses. So it was definitely a very interesting game and definitely one of the best seasons we've ever gotten to broadcast. Now, going into the lacrosse team, it's a brand new sport that's been introduced for the men's and women's teams, which will be coming this spring to BL Athletics. Well, Jared, I think this recaps, I guess, as you could say, our BL Sports Year in Review, as we thank you from myself, Max Danielsen, and Jared Hedges. All right, keep our composure. Again, this is our first time back, so it'll take a little while to get back into the swing of it, but hopefully that'll go better next time, as we wish you a pleasant good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening to wherever you may be watching. Thank you.